So as you know, I'm a full-time college student, and I'm taking 16 credits worth of courses. So I'm taking 5 courses. Last semester, I was taking at least how many courses? I think 5, but it wasn't that bad compared to this semester. It deals with a lot of writing. It consists with a lot of writing. So I have at least an issue with 2 professors. But this the main professor who's giving me trouble is the sociology professor that teaches social problems. So his work consists of a lot of writing, and you have to read the textbook, and you have to answer questions that is it's critical thinking questions, and these questions at times are not questions that relates to the textbook. It's most likely the person. It's most likely talking about the person who's reading, like it's the person who's reading the textbook, right? It wants to talk. It wants them to answer questions related to their experiences rather than the textbook. Like and ask them to talk about their ethnicity, what they think about their ethnicity group, and or your race group. You know what I mean? The ethnicity or the race group. Now, I'm able to look at my other classmates' work, and also my classmates are able to look at my work, right? So I see that one student, one of my classmates, are asking, are answering questions related to their ethnicity. One is Hispanic, one is Asian. I'm looking at it, looking at their response, and I'm saying, they're not really, answering the questions. But the professor, right? When I had the professor said that he's gonna have an office meeting with each student in the class. So, for example, He's gonna have a meeting, like it's like a Zoom meeting, and he's gonna, it's a virtual meeting. He's gonna have a one-on-one conversation about the student's work. So I'm like, what? I never had a professor, did this virtually online, but in person I did. So when I spoke to him on the, during the virtual meeting, he said to me, hello, and then he's saying that I'm not demonstrating any knowledge from the textbook, or I must be tired, or I must be going to some life changes. The way he talks as if he knows me, but when I'm attending his class virtually, I don't show my face and I don't speak. I'm just there listening to the professor speaks. So I learned that the way he communicates with me is absurd. He doesn't have enough substantial amount of information, or you could say any real information, to actually support his argument that I must be going through life changes, or I must be sleepy. He's talking quite weird. The way he speaks is like my subscriber. Once I remember I had a conversation with my subscriber, and she's telling me I'm not thinking. I must be tired, or something must be wrong. Or my mom would behave this way. She's the first person who started behaving this way towards me would be my mom. My mom would always do this to me. Like, she would tell me, oh, the reason why I'm behaving this way is because I must be hungry, when I'm not, behaving this way because I'm hungry. And then she, there is to, target me, it's to target specific areas of my mind, to actually get me to draw out a certain behavior, right? That's the objective. Or the to be honest, they're trying to isolate me, make me feel insecure about myself as a human being when it comes to writing. So he continues to ramble on about that I don't demonstrate, and then he goes back on. He's saying that I did. He said that my first assignment, right? Based off the questions from the textbook, I was demonstrating, that I was knowledgeable because I was using the text from the textbook for the first assignment and the second assignment. But the third assignment, right, it's asking about African Americans, right? What I think about the race, and it's asking me about movies and the media, right? And I'm not a person who watch movies. I don't watch TV shows. I don't watch stuff like I don't watch stuff like that. I don't really watch movies. I don't watch TV shows. Most likely, I just watch cartoons. I watch cartoons, and I look I look at video games on Twitch. But most likely, I look at video game on Twitch, and also sometimes I'm on TikTok, looking at live streams. That's about it. I spend my time looking at live streams on Twitch or on TikTok, or I just spend my time reading on what do you call it, Twitter. But yeah, the questions are very personal. So I remember talking about African Americans, you know, especially the males. They're very violent because that's part of my race. They want the questions are related to my race, but there's not really much to say about it because I don't really concern myself about my race. I most likely stay away from this topic because it's just repetitive. But anyway, he's telling me I'm not that I'm not demonstrating, that like I said earlier, he said that I must be going through some life changes. That makes absolutely no sense. That's completely out of context to say that to a student virtually online. This is an online course. This is not an in-person course. It's really out of context. That response, that whole entire word is really out of context. And then I'm sleepy. That's also out of context. Those two words that he said to me, phrases. He's saying these groupings of words, right, that are completely out of context. That has nothing to do with me, having any life changes or I must be tired. But it's just what I learned is that it's just more of ciphers that this professor, this white male professor is trying to plug words into my mind to discourage me from being able to write the way I write on the discussion board because I'm talking about African Americans. And since the third, because that was the third assignment, and then he's telling me that the third assignment is going to receive partial credit. The fourth assignment is going to receive partial credit, and the fifth assignment is what is flag, which means he thinks either I had like a program write it for me, like an AI, or I must got it off the internet, right? Plagiarized, right? But then again, I had my own ideas of writing. I put it in my own words. Even if I did, I still put it in my own words. And I put my ideas about like ageism. They're talking about ageism in for the textbook. That's the topic. And I was talking about how the doctor, when they get old, they may not have the strength to be able to take care of their patients, right? Because when you're a doctor, you have to have the health yourself to be able, be able to hold, you hold it, so for example, when a doctor needs to check, like there's several equipments that the doctor needs to hold, right? And they may have their body may be shaken. Maybe they yeah, because their body's deteriorating. Everybody bodies start to deteriorate as they get older, and he may not have the health to be able to perform his duties as a doctor. And just like an airplane pilot, if an airplane pilot is old and they don't by means old, they don't have a body where they can actually you know work their airplane because their hands are shaking and they don't have a proper visual, like their eyes also starts to go even though they're wearing glasses. They may not be able to do their duty no more, right? So that was the question. So for Reed to get flagged, I'm like, what? How is that flag? You know, I actually there's stuff that I found on the internet, but I didn't use words, copy word for word. I created the words myself for the assignment before the fifth assignment, and he didn't say his flag. So it was quite creepy, you know. That as soon as I started talking about African American myself, that I'm African American, is that he started to behave this way. And I look at my other. He said that I had to write over a page, but my second assignment wasn't over a page, and a half. It was less than a page and a half, and yet he said he's giving me full credit for that. He gave me full credit for that. But until still I talk about African American, he said he gave me half credit. And I see that I saw that my assignment is more than a page and a half. So it's quite creepy that I'm being treated this way, you know, by this professor. And it's not just this professor. I had a professor before when I was in a community college who gave me an assignment about nigger. You know, that was the assignment that I had to do some sort of presentation about nigger. You know, and I'm like, wait, and I uploaded that on my YouTube, and several people say that that's racist. You know, you're African American, and he giving you an assignment about nigger. You know, and yeah, and this even though this is online, the professor can see my face. You know, because I had school before the whole pandemic. I had school in person. Now I passed my class except for one. I passed my classes in person. I mean, I passed one of my classes in person. The other one I ended up failing. That was math because I didn't have a proper environment where I can do my schoolwork. But anyway, that professor, right, online, that was before 2000. No, that was after 2019 and after 2020. That was fall semester of 2021. He said I had to do a presentation on nigger, and I was saying to everybody that something isn't right. Even my mom. Why is he giving me the presentation about nigger? Why can't he give me a presentation about something else? You know, so I'm looking back on how the professor in the past behaved, and this one. You know, I never had a professor. I never had a professor say I'm not demonstrating any knowledge. Instead of explaining what I should do. You know, instead of saying, oh, you're not demonstrating any knowledge and such. You need to write a page over. Instead of explaining, since he's taking notes about me not showing any demonstration, demonstrating any knowledge of what I'm writing, he would be able to explain it. Like for example, oh, for ageism, since the assignment with ageism that got flagged, oh, you said such and such this, and, those words are flagged. And then when I asked him, what do you mean by flag? I think he was going into details about it, about flag. And then he said, "Oh, I'm exhausted." He said he's exhausted. He can't talk to me any further. He's exhausted. Wow, that's some crazy stuff going on here. And this is I have 7 more classes left before I graduate with a bachelor's degree in psychology. And I'm taking the sociology class, at least several sociology classes. And I'm having problems with these courses because like this course, the social problem course, and also I have an American politics course. That professor is a bit of a problem because she's having us teach ourselves, and I'm having a problem with my electronics too. I just sold my electronic, one of my laptops on eBay, and I purchased a Chromebook, a new Chromebook computer. But anyway, there was for American politics. There's the professor wants us to use an AI, right? But there's something going on here. So I had to use Chat GPT. So Chat GPT is a program AI, but I don't call it AI. I call it a bot, because I know what AI means. And she's telling me there was something happened. Something happened before I submitted the assignment. The bot, you know, tells me that there's an error that occurred. I'm like, what? Why is there's an error? And no many how I keep opening new browsers to start over again because the assignment gives me instructions what to do. But the problem here is that it's telling the AI, Chat GPT is telling me there's an error. So I'm looking at Chat GPT. Hold on, if this is Chat GPT, and it keeps telling me there's an error. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Why is it that there's an error? Why is it that there's an error with this Chat GPT? What's going on here? Was it this? I believe it was this. Like there's an error. It can't go any further, and I had to keep opening new. I had to open up new browser. Open up the browser. This is on my Windows 11 computer, which I sold, and also opening up new chats, and it wouldn't work. Just keep seeing that there's an error, and I should have recorded it. It was just acting weird. I never did that before. I did the AI, the Chat GPT assignment several times, and everything worked fine, except for this particular time. Just started bugging out, and it did that. It did that again when I was taking my exam. You know, I was using, of course, I'm using ChatGPT to help me understand my exam. Of course, even though I have notes, I wanted to help me decipher the words for me, because you know what? Since the real life artificial intelligence doesn't play fair with me, puts make sure to drain me. I'm using it to help me decipher the words, help me understand it. Even though I don't, there's times I disagree with this Chat GPT when it gives me answers, gives me the wrong answers. I usually have my own ideas to select my answers, and I end up getting 100. Besides using this thing, this Chat GPT at times is inaccurate. But anyway, it was giving me an error, and I ended up submitting the assignment, and the teacher said, "Oh, you don't know what your poll scientific your so stuff is off," and I had it correct. I had it correct at first, but I couldn't change it. What I mean is, I had an idea what to do, and I saw that I was supposed to use the one from the lesson, the scientific explanation, the scientific whole explanation, and what's scientific and unscientific. I was going to use that, but instead the chat GPT didn't work. And I was running out of time to submit the assignment. I just submitted. And I ended up losing 1 point and how many points? 1 point and zero, 1 point, 1 point off. Yeah, 1 point off my grade. I'm like, oh, shish. And that really counts a lot. The assignment is a lot, it's worth a lot. And I'm like, oh, shish, this damn program, man. But anyway, this is ridiculous. I'm supposed to be doing an assignment right now. I'm just irritated right now. That this is happening to me, and I'm trying to fix my sleep. I have to worry about my living conditions. You know, I only have what I have up to December 15th to move out. To actually, this is a final notice to move out of this apartment. I feel like this is Claremont 2.0, where I was getting evicted with my mom and my sister, but instead it's only me by myself, and I'm in an expensive city called New York City, and they're expecting me to live. The attorney saying I had to find an apartment. It's not an apartment. Is looking for roommates. It's different. Finding an apartment means that you're actually you know renting out a lease. It's a lease. You have to do a lease and such, and you have to put a deposit fee. That's what she means. It's different. She never. I don't think the lady speaking to me, the attorneys. I had several different attorneys that spoke to me. They all you know they all don't have an understanding what they don't have understanding what roommates means. Wow. They never lived. I had to say that they never lived with a roommate before, because they seem to not show any understanding what I'm talking about. Because I'm saying that I have to live with a roommate. I have to find a roommate who I can live with, and I have to actually trust that person. Because they know I'm going to be living with them. They are not going to be living with them. I'm not going to have my own space. That's what it means. I have to live with people, and I don't know how they behave. I don't know what they're if they're criminals, and I have to be able to concentrate on my schoolwork while living with these people. So it's a it's horrible. And my sister, she said she doesn't want to live with no roommate. She want to live on her own, and she doesn't want to live with me either. And I'm a quiet person. I don't do anything to her. I sit down in front of my computer doing my schoolwork all day. But this the reason why she said this was the reason why my sister said that to me, so she can do her own things, because she my sister, she parties. I know what she do. She goes outside and she dressed with her tight dress and stuff, going outside and wearing heels. She knows what she's doing, and she wants to keep it a secret. She's a liar. She's a deceiving person. She doesn't. She seems to she's going through a psychological state as a young adult, knowing that she lost her mom, and also she has a history of doing some crazy stuff. When she was in school, and she wasn't like that before. My sister until 2017. 2017, my sister completely her personality completely changed. And my mom noticed that, and my mom, took her to a psychiatrist to get some, help, professional help. And she's also on, the medications. It's ridiculous. But anyway, this is all I wanted to talk about. I had to, do my schoolwork. This is ridiculous. And I was also doing the First Amendment, and the teacher saying I don't show any understanding the key component of the assignment. When all the assignment is talking about what was the First Amendment, and it's talking about uh, you know a thesis, an argument, the argument about it, and I'm showing, and that's the argument. Even and I'm looking at it and looking at this program here, and it's talking about the argument. This is the argument. Even when I was doing the AI program with the AI, you're saying I don't have an understanding when I just did it. That's the information. Well, and my classmates are also complaining about the teacher, saying saying that she's a lousy teacher. She judged harshly. She doesn't even teach the material. She had to teach herself. She doesn't understand, whatever's going on. But anyway, um, my last day of school is on the 21st of 2023, and I have all these at least how many research papers? Three research papers to complete. I don't know. I'm going to complete it. I had to move out of this place, and it's ridiculous. All these things occur at the same time. So thanks for listening. Just wanted to talk about it because it's this is very depressing to know that human beings behave this way, especially in New York City. They have their secret psycho behavior. I call it secret psycho behavior because it seems to me they don't reveal their behavior towards people. They don't reveal their behavior in real life. They like to reveal their nasty behaviors towards me. Thanks for watching. I'll be creating another video because I have an idea about. I wanted to finish uh, explaining about the management program. So I had talked about it on October 2021. Anyway, all right. Thanks for watching.